Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on the composition of functions. All right, let f of x equal 1 over x and g of x equal x squared minus 4. Find the following, and for a through d, I want to find the domain because I like things to be a little bit harder. So for the composition of functions, g of f of x is just taking g and putting f of x in for the input. So that means I want to put 1 over x in for this x. So g of f of x is going to be, if I put 1 over x in for x squared, it's going to be 1 over x squared minus 4. So g of f of x equals 1 over x squared minus 4. The domain of this says that x cannot equal 0. So the domain is going to be, x can be anything from negative infinity to 0 exclusive or 0 to positive infinity. But we have to exclude 0 out of the domain. All right, for b, f of g of x, we're putting g of x in for x here. So we're saying f of g of x. So we're going to put this in for this x. We're actually going to get, for f of g of x, 1 over x squared minus 4. There's nothing more we need to do, but to find the domain, x squared minus 4 can't be 0, which means x squared can't be 4. And when we square root this, we have to put a plus or minus in. So x cannot be plus or minus 2. Can't be a negative 2, it can't be a positive 2. So when we do this domain, it's more complicated. It can't be negative infinity to negative 2 joined with negative 2 to 2 joined with 2 to positive infinity. It has 3 parts, so we have to do this part, and this part all joined together. Here, I'll do that again up here if you want to see it as a single string. Negative 2 to infinity, negative infinity to negative 2 joined with negative 2 to 2 joined with 2 to positive infinity. So that's how it would be in a single line string if I wanted to string it all together. All right. The next one, g of x, that means I'm putting this into itself, which is allowed. So I'm going to get g of x is going to equal x squared minus 4 squared minus 4. There's no fraction, there's no square root, there's no log, there's no restrictions on my domain. My domain is just going to be all real. That's fine. For this one, when I put f into itself, I'm going to get 1 over x, which is going to be, this is going to flip and multiply. So I'm going to have, if this was a fraction, I'm going to get 1 over 1 times x over 1. I'm just going to get x, which really simplifies nicely. C and D ended up, C looks ugly, but has a simple domain. D, it's x. I mean, it doesn't really get easier than that. Okay, so next, what I want to do is I want to find g of f of negative 3. So g of f of negative 3 is 1 over negative 3 squared minus 4, which is 1 over positive 9 minus 4, which is negative 35 ninths. For f of g, and I could have started with coming back up here and putting -3 into each of these and having -1/3 and 5 and used those numbers, that would have been fine. However, it would have taken a lot more steps, and I would rather just use the things I've calculated. So I'm going to use what I've calculated. For f of g of -3, I'm going to use this right here. So 1 over -3 squared minus 4, which is 1 over 9 minus 4, which is 1/5, which is fun. For the next one, for g of -3, it looks ugly. Oh, it looks so ugly. But let's see what happens. -3 squared minus 4 squared minus 4. So 9 minus 4 squared minus 4 is 5 squared minus 4. That's 25 minus 4. That's 21. All that and this one is just x. Booyah! Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks!